is Triple M NRL Preview.
Spectacular try.
Brought to you by Bryden's Lawyers.
Righto, game of the week, Joey, up there at the Central Coast. The Seagulls versus the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Most people think this is going to be the Rabbitohs again, but it could be a tricky one.
Yeah, I don't mind the Seagulls in this one. I think the big strength of the Rabbitohs is the size of their pack, but also can be their Achilles heel. If the Seagulls control the ball and the Seagulls halves have a really good kicking game, then I can see them wearing down the Rabbits. They've got a good record up there, the Seagulls. I think they'll win.
There we go, the Seagulls. Righto, let's have a look at some of the other games on the weekend. The other game tonight, we've got the Broncos up against the Cowboys. Geez, I thought the Broncos a little bit mixed round one, while the Cowboys, their second half was outstanding.
Well, their second half was outstanding. I think they can really improve on that performance, the Cowboys. The best player in the game, in Jonathan Thurston, he just steers them around so well. He's on another planet at the moment, the way he's playing. I think the Cowboys smokies for the grand final this year. One thing Thurston hasn't done is he hasn't owned a grand final or a semi-final series, which would burn a player of his standing. So I think that's a big driving force for him. The Broncos, for me, they won't make the 8. Their creative players aren't good enough. Their kicking game last week with Ben Hunt was terrible, and I see Josh Hoffman playing 5'8". He's a fullback, so they've got to do something about their creative players, and I think that's why, whether the next year or the year after, they will go so hard for Daly Cherry Evans.
So the Cowboys in this one?
Cowboys are certain.
Yeah, I think so as well. Joey, Storm versus Panthers. A lot expected of the Panthers this year, and they were terrific last week, again in the second half.
Really well-rounded team. They've got a really strong forward pack, experienced halves. Wallace steers the team around, and the kicking game of Jamie Soward will always keep the Panthers in a close game. And I think they might roll the Storm down there. I thought the Storm were a little bit underdone last week against Manly. I thought Manly showed their frailties, especially out wide. I thought their defence out wide, the Melbourne Storm, was quite poor last week. So if the Panthers can control the ball, and on the back of Soward's kicking game, I think they'll always be in the game to the last sort of 10 or 20 minutes. I think the Panthers can cause an upset.
Well, there you go, Panthers and an upset. Joey, another game that's not as straightforward as it appears. The Roosters, the premiers, up against last year's Wooden Spooners, the Eels.
Well, the Roosters were underdone last week. I thought I saw two teams. South Sydney have done a lot of work in the off-season. They look fit and hard. And the Roosters, for me, a lot of their bigger players looked like they were carrying extra weight. I understand Jared Warrior-Hargreaves came back from the World Cup and he was weighing 133 kilos. Now his playing weight is 117 kilos. I understand he's down to about 122, 123 kilos, but it goes to show that a lot of those players have enjoyed themselves in the off-season after winning a premiership. And for me, I don't think they've done as much hard work as other clubs. Parramatta, on the other hand, they were flogged during the off-season. They hit the ground running against the Warriors, huge win. I believe the Eels can win this one also.
Wow, another upset. Okay, Joey, let's a quick tip on these ones. The team of the pre-season who were disappointing last week, Warriors up against the Dragons.
I think the Warriors will hit back over there.
Okay, let's have Titans versus the disappointing Tigers in round one.
No, I think the Titans will win. I think their certainty's up there on the Gold Coast.
Our old side, the Newcastle Knights, up against the Raiders.
Newcastle in a real tight one.
That will be a tight one. Bit of value about the Raiders in this one. And the Monday Night Football game. The Bulldogs, who again were a disappointment in round one, well below expectations, up against the Sharkies.
Big pack for the Dogs up against the Sharks. No Gallen, no Fafita. The Dogs will win by plenty.
Okay, there you go. That's our tips for round 2 in the NRL Premiership. As always, gamble responsibly, and all care, no responsibility.
Triple M rocks the NRL.